Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Replayer Podcast. I'm your host this week, Pagan, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Dan, or Stark Evil Vash.
What's up, everybody?
What's up?
Pagan.
Joining us this week are our Replayer guests, Grace and Shyami. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Good morning.
Applause, rock applause. Please,
We did the
hold the applause.
the Pocahontas wave. Wow.
Pocahontas wave. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a throwback. Shyami, we have not had you on the show for exactly 1 year. The last time you were on the show was 27th of June.
It was when this was just an audio. There's no cameras.
I was gonna say.
This was just a lot of things.
This was just a lot. Oh, that's amazing. I think that's kind of cool that it just so happened that we can scheduled around this, and it's like a year.
Not planned at all.
So not at all. It actually wasn't.
Not at all, yeah.
I know.
I mean, totally was, absolutely. So how are you? How have you been since we've last seen you here on the Replayer Podcast?
Been good. Very busy, I guess. I've just been studying mainly because university, and yeah, that's mainly taking up my time. And coronavirus, that's annoying. But you know, it also gives me time to work as well, so that's the good thing.
True. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I feel like I was going somewhere with that, and then I was like, Grace is frozen, and I was like, shoot.
Oh, no.
What's going on? Grace, how are you since your last
Am I still frozen?
On, no, you're good.
And she froze.
And as soon as she did that, she froze.
I'll just stay here.
Grace, how are you? It's been so long to see you, Grace.
Create no frames.
I have to do that's become a really dumb tradition now for Pagan and I.
It really has. It's so sad.
Pretty much every time. The little shoulder.
What was the question?
Every time.
I'm
Just
good.
how have you been? How have you been since the last episode of the Replayer Podcast?
I'm good. I've finished one semester of uni now, which is nice. I'm on my mid-year break. Yep. I'm on a break.
You know how to make video games now?
And yeah, I know how to make games on Twine, which is pretty fun. So yeah. No, things are good. Things are kind of I don't know, still not really back to whatever normal was, but things are kind of easing a little bit. Where I live, we haven't had any kind of any cases in a couple of weeks, which is pretty amazing.
That's pretty good.
So they're really starting to ease up on restaurants are opening, cafes are opening, people are going to sporting events, things like that. So
becoming the exact opposite
cinemas
here.
are opening next week. I can't wait to go back to the cinema. You guys, first world problems. Man, I miss the cinema.
That's going to be another 3 months for us here in Melbourne.
Really? Are you and Dan in similar situations? Because myself and Grace are definitely in similar situations. Everything's opening up.
It was so good. But then I don't know. I don't know what happened. There's several different things that happened. Because obviously the Black Lives Matter protest happened, and of course that's an amazing thing. But I think there was 10 people from that. But then it was fine, but then 2 weeks later, then 20 cases started, and everyone was like, "Ah, great." And then the next night it was 30 plus, and it was like, "Okay, great, here we go again." And then they just shut down the state again.
Oh no, again? So you had a partial opening, and then they shut it down. Oh no.
We literally were planning, oh my god, we can see family again, because I haven't seen the rest of my family for so long. And then it's no, the state's closing again. Hooray! And, it's coronavirus, but it's good that they're taking the precaution instead of just jumping back into normality, I guess. So it's best to be careful.
True.
Yeah.
Has that happened to you then, Dan? Similar?
Pretty much similar. We started to open things back up here again, and kind of life was sort of going back to normal. And then there was a weird wave of people going to bars and getting COVID. And now the state of Texas has the highest numbers it's seen yet. So that they're kind of turning their around and putting their tail between their legs and everything is going to probably shut down again. Because we
So
went
you
from...
peaked.
Yeah, we peaked after they were like, oh, we're good. And then they kind of started reopening things again. And I had started to be able to like get out in the world again and start doing things. And before I know it, it was like, oh, probably shouldn't do that now because it's just everything's worse now.
Yeah. We have opened up a lot of things, and today was my first time that I went to town. So we live maybe like 5-minute drive from town. Like I could walk there, probably take me about 40 minutes to get into the center of town. But like 5-minute drive. It's great. It's nice. It's cool. Went there for the first time today, and it's like Corona doesn't exist, and everyone's just like back to normal, and you're
That's kind of how it's been.
Wow. Like other than queues outside of shops, like shops are now limiting how many people you can have in at a time. So then like they're letting in and out, etc. But like nobody cares about social distancing. Half the people didn't have any masks on.
Even they're bad.
It's just like I look, I'm not a big thing about the masks thing, right? But I will wear the mask because everybody's been told to do it, and it does help hinder the spread. It all froze. Give me a second. I'm back. Hey, no problem at all, Grace. But yeah, so nobody's wearing a mask, and then I see things on the internet about people protesting the use of masks, and I'm like,
it's
really dumb.
Even here in Melbourne, it was right before the Black Lives Matter stuff. They were protesting to go back to work, and it was like, dude, no, just stay home. And even I was talking to my parents about this because, you know, they've never seen something like this happen before. So it's like, I was saying, like, this is like kind of like the time off everybody's been begging for. So just like utilize it. Like if you have kids, hang out with them, don't go out, you know, make activities for every day. And even for people who are like even living on their own or maybe with their parents, like I am, just, make a routine and then just relax.
Completely agree. I feel like this time has kind of like come. It's a weird time. I get that everyone's frustrated and like cooped up and stuff like that, but like, holy shit, people pay for extended holidays. People go on sabbatical for reasons of that. And like, you now have like 3, 4, whatever months off of your work because it's dangerous to go outside. So yeah, okay. There are downsides to this regarding like jobs closing and everything like that. But then there are really great sides to it. Like you do have the time to we lost Grace. We lost Grace, everybody. All right, thank you so much. That's the show. Take care.
God bless her.
There she is. But at least you do have the time to like spend with family and like, I don't know, start a new hobby or whatever it is. Like pursue a passion. Like I think you're so right. Make a routine and it'll all be okay. I think
that was one of my biggest struggles too, was trying to re-find a routine after everything. And I had just started kind of getting back to that again. So if we go into another full lockdown, it's going to throw that all off again. Because I just started getting a routine again. I started having like, okay, here's a work schedule and having some sort of rhythm to life than just, I feel like I've been living in a Groundhog Day for the last 4 months, you know, something along those lines.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like, I mean,
much as people hate to admit it,
I think, I've been very fortunate in that, like,
relaxed person.
I think there's a massive delay between me and Grace. Do you have a delay too?
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's back.
Like, it'll be quiet, and then I'll start talking, and then you'll stop talking, but there's sound coming in, and I was like, oh no, I'm after speaking over Grace. I'm so sorry. It doesn't look like she can hear us.
I don't think she can hear us.
I can hear you.
Oh, you can!
You are.
Oh, is that all good now? There's no more delay?
No delay.
Until you try to talk. Yeah, like, all right, so here's my...
I was back for like 30 seconds and nothing happened. And then I was talking and you guys couldn't hear me. So I didn't know if that was me or you. And then I was like, okay. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You're back. You're okay.
You're all good.
Been
in
fine,
relation
literally
to like your COVID routine, have you found that that's changed for you because you had to do classes from home, right? Like for your semester?
Yeah. It's funny because I don't feel like I'm on like holidays now because my routine hasn't changed. I'm still at home. Luckily all my classes were really easy to switch to online mode. And like my lecturers have been super supportive and very like understanding, because they're also having to make this change and figure things out. So that wasn't too much of an issue. I didn't really struggle with that. My laptop is 1,000 years old, so that's been a little bit of a issue to deal with. But
we had this discussion recently. Me and you have the same laptop from like 9 years ago. Yeah.
It's
I feel
a
the struggle.
That's an old laptop.
It's
a 2011 MacBook Pro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I think
that being said, though, MacBooks generally last a good decade or so.
They do, and I've had to upgrade mine though. Like I've had to change RAM. I've updated my RAM and I've changed my storage settings as well. Like I've changed I've taken the CD-ROM out basically and into an SSD there, like a terabyte SSD, which is much better for my storage. But dude, I feel you. There's nothing you can do because the processor's still shitty. It's still 9 years old.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Saving up for a new computer though, so fingers crossed. But yeah, like as far as routines go, it's just been, trying to get a set routine at home and then doing that, because I'm a person that can't study or like work at home. I need to go somewhere else to do it.
Fair.
Like I can't get into a good state of mind at home to do any kind of study or work. So that took probably the most getting used to, was actually having to study and do work at home.
That's the kind of issue that I had with working out and exercise, because I don't know why it's just hard for me to work out at home, but I can go for a run, and I'll run for like 40 minutes, an hour, because I'm dedicating that chunk of time to doing that. And when I go to the gym, it's the same way. I dedicate, an hour, 2 hours or so to being at the gym. And I was just starting to go back to the gym and having that same kind of, this is the time I work out. But if I can't go to the gym, it's impossible for me to say, okay, I'm going to just stop what I'm doing and work out for an hour or half an hour or hour and a half or something like that. So it's kind of that same struggle and balance with the routine.
The gym is only just starting to reopen here. I think they're opening next week or so. They sent me an email to be like, your membership is going to be renewed and everything. And I'm like, okay, great. I don't know if I want to go back to the gym now, because I'm like, people are sweaty and like people are just like, there's this whole nobody's wearing masks thing, and they're not careful. And I have vulnerable people in my life, and like with the lung issue, like I'm vulnerable. So I'm kind of like, I don't know if I do want to go back right now. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just hit pause on that membership for a while. Thank you. But I get the struggle from working at home, for like working and working out at home. Just trying to focus on something when you really could just be like doing something that you really like to do, like playing video games or whatever, or making food. That would be me. I'd be like, but why would I work out for 35 minutes or an hour when I could be playing The Last of Us, or when I could be making some breakfast? Like,
I don't have great equipment at home to work out with either, so it's like I can't do as much from home. So for the longest time, for the majority of quarantine, I was just going for runs, because there's actually a pretty decent like trail around the neighborhood, and it's paced out well, so you can easily be like, okay, 2 laps is 2 miles, or 4 laps is 4 miles, and you can easily track how far you've gone. But as far as exercise equipment, I don't really have much to use at home. So I'm actually, now that I'm not going to go back to the gym again, because I'm starting to get afraid that might be an issue, I'm considering actually getting some equipment to have at home.
Yeah, we have equipment at home, but like not crazy stuff. Like we have a bench, and we have some kettlebells and some dumbbells and stuff, and really like I actually really enjoy high intensity interval training. Like I really enjoy doing stuff with like body weight training and stuff, because you really don't need a lot of weight, but
you really don't.
You really don't. But I do like also going to the gym, and there's different things that you could do, and then you could go to the gym one day and be like, oh, I really don't want to squat, so instead I'm gonna do like I'll do rowing, or I'll do something else that's like completely unrelated, but at least I can be here and have a quick change. Whereas here, like, you really don't have that much options. You're kind of like, don't really want to do high intensity interval training today, so I guess I'll do high intensity interval training today because there's not much else to do, or go for a run. Shyami, what do you think? Because before the lockdown happened, you were so active as well. I am on your Instagram and your socials as well, doing like the gym. You were doing so well. Like that
because I was actually really loving the gym. I was going like at least 3 times to 4 times a week, just trying to get it and do as much as possible. And I lost like about 3 or 4 kilos in the last few months that I did it, and then obviously coronavirus happened, and then I gained it all back because
dude, it's okay. You're at home and no one's gonna notice.
But I was like,
COVID belly.
I know, it sucks, man.
But I still do like a bit of exercise here and there, like at home. Like I have like a trampoline that I kind of do like high intensity, like
cool,
hitting the knees and stuff like that.
Trampoline.
Trampoline.
And then I do a little bit of weights, but not too much. But I really want to get back in the gym. But then it's like, again, I have people in my life, which is my parents. I live with them. They're both got health problems, so it's like I don't want to put them at risk. I'd rather stay at home, do my own thing, and then wait for a couple of months until everything dies down. And especially with the new cases, at that point, I'm not going back for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, so no, Shyami hasn't been on the show with us after we started making all these changes and all the fancy bells and whistles we've started doing on the podcast. So we get to ask you our replayer questionnaires.
Oh yay! Nice.
We sure do, because I think Grace, you had popped these in, so it's just gonna be like, let's interview Shyami.
Yes.
Shyami.
Grace can comment.
Commentate. Shyami, what was your first introduction to gaming?
Oh, to gaming? Oh damn, that's such a going back like 20 years.
Oh my.
I think the first I think the first game I played was Halo 2.
Wow.
And I was like 6, and it was like
Halo
no
2?
children play this game.
Man, I feel
but
old.
then it was like I remember just being so like gravitated towards the graphics. It was amazing. And me and my sister loved the storyline as well, even though we were like freaked out by the aliens that were in that game. We were still like, oh my god, this is like the coolest
Halo
thing
2
ever.
is an amazing game. Like
such a good
probably
game.
one of the best games ever made, and it also established the whole archetype of how networking works for online multiplayer, which we still use today. Like Halo set the ground for online multiplayer. If you didn't know that fun fact.
Again, that kind of made me start to gravitate towards story-based games, like because it's got such a rich story about I won't give anything away. Anyone hasn't watched it, but there's like you play as the enemy and you play as the hero, which is Master Chief. But then you get to see 2 different perspectives, so it's like so good. It was such a good game.
That's right. Yeah, you get to play both sides in that game.
And is this on Xbox?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I still have my original Xbox and the original Halo 2. So
it is on Xbox One in the Master Chief collection.
Yeah.
And if you have Game Pass, it's on there. You can play it.
Hey, I do.
Game Pass.
I know.
We should be fucking sponsored by Game Pass at this point.
Exactly.
Even I'm like, Game Pass is awesome.
I talk about Game Pass every episode.
I know. So Shyami, what is your current preferred platform to play games on?
Oh, it has to be PS4. Like because like a lot of people are telling me to go to computer, but then I'm like, I'd rather just stick to the console, because consoles I've always stuck to, and that's what I grew up with. Xbox, Nintendo 64. Actually, that was like, besides the Xbox, we had the Nintendo 64, and then we got the Wii and all that stuff. And then I finally, with my own money, I bought the PS4, and I was like, definitely sticking to PlayStation.
This is the one.
The one.
This is the one. And do you have a favorite?
No, the Xbox One was the one.
True.
Favorite game?
Do you have a favorite game?
Oh, that's so hard.
It is hard.
If you have to pick a franchise, we have allowed it in the past, so you can pick a franchise if you prefer. But
or if you have a few you want to rattle off.
Yes.
No, you need to rank them in order.
From 1 to 30.
That's too much emotional stress.
This is the best way to stress.
Welcome to the Replayer Podcast.
I just melt. Damn. I'll definitely say the Kingdom Hearts series. That was like my first ever gaming series I got into. And even though it's like everyone says like, oh, it's just Disney mixed with like Final Fantasy, it's more than that. It's so good. And
oddly enough, I was explaining Kingdom Hearts to Brandy this morning.
Oh, dude, it's complicated, but
it's so complicated.
If you catch on to the storyline, it's good. Another series.
A Japanese RPG with Disney characters is like the most basic explanation of it.
Yeah, basic explanation.
I've seen like clips of it, but I've never played it because it looks too confusing.
You can play through the game and enjoy it and actually like experience the different worlds that are themed on different Disney franchises, and not pay that much attention to the story and still enjoy the game.
Exactly. That's probably more.
Just don't get caught up and lost in the convoluted nonsense that people start talking about. Just focus on like the Disney characters and what they're talking about. Don't worry about anyone else.
If you want something that's less complicated, just play the first game and don't play the rest.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
fair.
That's probably the least complicated game out of the whole series.
All right. Okay. I'll take it. And what game would you like to see the guys play? So basically, when Retro Replay comes back onto the couch and they're doing the retro games with guests, is there anything that you'd like to see them play?
Ooh.
We did get a hint at that coming soon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're starting to film back on the couch in
July, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
Hint.
With special guest blank blank from blank blank, as PJ hinted at.
My favorite blank blank.
Yeah, I don't know who this is.
I love blank.
I don't know who this is, but I'm excited, and I really hope it is.
It's Ryan Reynolds.
PJ mentions today in his answer for Retro Replay.
Oh.
Because like he's like my good friend, and I was like, oh come on, he's got to be on the show. Y'all see that in a minute.
I actually had a thought. This is a little foreshadowing to the chat later, but I was wondering if maybe they're going to bring Miss Claudia Black in on anything.
I really hope so.
She's a queen. I love her.
I really hope so.
Like if she could be the female role that they were talking about. Anyways,
yeah, in the quarantine, like when from Nolan's Garden, when he was like, "Oh, we have an Uncharted thing coming that's like a female version," and I was like, "It's got to be Emily or Claudia," and either way, I'm on board.
Exactly.
But yeah, Shyami. So if you could like pick a retro game or anything, or any game in general that they haven't played yet, that you were like, they should really play this, what would you think?
Oof. I did want them to play Halo for a long time, but then after seeing, I was
Halo,
like,
okay,
such an old game, like it was such early 2000s. I was like, maybe that will be cool. But then I saw like Nolan's reaction to Call of Duty, and then I was like, maybe not. If they're not playing, obviously the story, then it's probably not the best to play that.
Considering that they would be doing guests now, if they had a strong guest who knew how to play like FPS games such as Halo, or if they had experience with Halo, they could be like the driver in that episode to kind of be in control, not so much Nolan.
I feel like Liam or Todd or even Raul Coley would be really cool as guests like that, because I think they are gamers and they have played games before, and FPS probably wouldn't be such a big challenge to them. I don't know. I'm guessing. I'm taking a stab there. But yeah, I think that'd be really cool.
I feel like Raul and Nolan would just get lost in the Guinness and the innuendo. There wouldn't be any gameplay.
Yeah, it's true. It could be Barbie Sports. Honestly, it could be anything.
I would
bring it back.
I'd be happy to see any of that, especially if they ever got close to any of the grunts in Halo and listen to them like screaming and the shit they say, because the grunts are hysterical characters in Halo.
It's funny, yeah. They say some weird stuff.
There's these little aliens that live off of helium, and they have these high-pitched, squeaky voices, and they're like, "He's over there! Get him!"
Yes. It's
hilarious. And like they'll blow up and you'll hear them like,
cute. That kind of sounds adorable. I don't want to kill those people.
It's really funny.
Oh. I wouldn't want to kill them. I'd be like, oh, let's invite them all over to play. And our final question for the game questionnaire is, what game or games are you looking forward to coming out or playing very soon? So anything that's coming out in the next couple of years, or if you haven't had a chance to play something that did come out recently, what are you looking forward to?
Well, I was talking to Mitch. You guys know Mitch, obviously.
We do.
Yeah, he and I were just
show.
having a long conversation about Spider-Man because I was telling him that I made a decision to buy God of War over Spider-Man because I was like, at the time I was in university, my first year of university, so I was like, I had to choose one to play when I had the time, and I chose God of War because I love that series as well. That's my favorite. So yeah, he was telling me play Spider-Man, like, because obviously now I finished The Last of Us Part 2, so now it's like I'm gonna start playing Spider-Man hopefully very soon. And I think the other game that I'm excited for is Cyberpunk. That looks really
Cyberpunk
good.
looks really good.
It looks beautiful. I can't wait.
November, right? November 19th?
Yeah,
it's a long way.
Are you guys glad you don't have to hear Last of Us Part 2 as an answer to that question anymore?
No, we didn't let people answer with Last of Us 2.
Yeah, we were all like, we know.
No, you don't even have to say it. You can just be like, oh, it's not even, it's done, it's out.
It's done.
I haven't finished it yet though, so.
But speaking of, has everybody like started it?
I finished.
Oh, fine.
Yeah, I'm about 12 hours in.
What? Okay, I'm about like 4 hours in. I have not had a chance to play it.
I did like a solid day, like the Friday, Saturday last week. I did a big chunk of it, and then it was funny throughout the week. I had free time, but it was just like I had some days where I was like, I honestly don't
want to play it.
I don't think I feel like playing it because it's bleak and it's dark, which for some reason surprised people. Did you play the first one?
I was
but yeah, I was like, oh, I think like I need something a bit lighter today, or I just need to not play it because if I'm not in the mood to play it, I'm not going to appreciate it. So, but then,
we've kind of had the same discussion where like I'm only like 4 or 5 hours in, and tomorrow I have like dedicated time to actually play this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, me and Adam are the same, and we'd be like, there's just sometimes where you're just like, I really don't want to pick this up right now because it's so stressful and it's so tense and dark, and you're just like, I don't know if I could just hack this for another 3 hours because you will be drawn into it. You can't just play 20 minutes.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah.
So you'd be like, okay, you need to sit down for it. Yeah. I don't know. I think
there's I'm no spoilers. There is a moment though that kind of
spoilers would be cut out, so don't worry about it.
Yeah,
no spoilers for me. I've never played it.
I'm just going to describe generally a feeling that I had, and it was like there is a moment, maybe 8 hours in, I think. There's a moment that made me kind of go, oh, okay, I'm fully into this now, because it took me a surprising amount of time to actually kind of, I was immediately into it, and I was like, this is beautiful. Oh my God, I can't believe they've done this. But then playing through it, I'm like, oof, this is a lot. Okay. But then I hit a moment.
Okay. So this is a moment where you're like, okay, I'm in it now.
Oh, okay. That was needed. I'm good. I'm in.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
I hope people know what I'm talking about. I think they will.
I think I know what you're talking about.
When I do get there, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
When I get to them.
I think you'll know. Yeah. But yeah. It kind of just
I'll check. I'll be like, am I 5 hours in? 6 hours? Okay, I'm only 4.5. I'll text you and be like, hey Grace, in about 4 hours time, I'm about to text you and see this moment.
Yeah, but I think it was kind of that moment that made me go like, oh, like I get it. I'm in it now. Like that was needed. I've got it. I'm like, let's go.
See, I think like
I was like, it was really bleak, but then
it is. It's a dark game.
It's the last.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
It's my favorite criticism of the game.
Yeah, so far
it's so bleak.
Great. It is very.
But the gameplay is so smooth.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Stunning.
We were just talking about this earlier that I actually found like there's a little bit of glitching in the game, but I feel like I don't know, that could just be patched over. But I'm having a lot of problems with like, I think there's a lock-on auto aim at the moment that is causing controller drift. So like I'll be trying to do something and she'll just completely turn the other way, and I'm like,
that's
no. Annoying. So I've had to take that off because obviously it's just an automatic setting that comes with like the lightest difficulty. So I was like,
yes.
But I think that's just, it's trying to help you see who the fuck's around you type thing.
I've had a little bit of glitchiness myself, but also I'm going to try to steamroll this because I was going to say, let's avoid as much Last of Us talk as possible.
Let's avoid this. So moving on to this week's discussion. We're just talking generally about Father Knows Best, Uncle Noli Knows, and which is advice from Uncle Noli, and Retro Replay, Uncharted 3 playthrough. So, any highlights? Firstly, let's start with Father Knows Best. Shyami, Grace, like, how are you guys feeling about this show? I think, Shyami, we haven't obviously had you on since it started. How are you feeling about the new content coming towards Retro Replay?
I mean, I'll answer, but
because, like, you know, like with the circumstances of what's going on, I think it's very interesting with the new content that can be made. So I like the Uncle Noli knows stuff because it's like we've all been kind of wanting that for a long time. So I remember when that first started, like I try and catch it whenever I could because obviously uni's in the way and it's very busy. But like whenever I did, it would always make me laugh and smile. So it's very nice to see them making new content, and even just like from the comfort of their home, because I did catch a few of the Uncharted episodes where they are playing from home, and it's just an interesting setup the way they've done it, and I like the way that they're still getting guests involved as well, so that's really, really good.
Yeah, it's nice to have guests on even in COVID.
I don't know for sure, but it seems pretty close to what they did with when we guested on the multiplayer match game.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if they're using a similar setup for that.
Oh, gosh, I have no idea.
Or they've improved on it, because it definitely looks a lot better.
Oh, they definitely improved on it. I think the way they're doing that, obviously, because it's being pre-recorded, I'm sure they're recording it straight off of Nolan's console.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then putting it up. Like, there's some sort of share play happening. But
I almost wonder if they're doing
off,
screen share through Zoom.
I think so, maybe.
I think that's what it looks like based on the way they talk and the way they are saying things. And I think I heard Nolan even mention share play.
Maybe.
Before. Or not share play, but like screen share.
Screen sharing. Yeah.
Well, he's used like the virtual background before, so I assumed it was Zoom.
Yeah.
I was tempted to do one for this one because I kind of look like I'm in a prison cell, but
we could do one. Like we'll
this
do
is a virtual background.
We'll just do like a virtual.
I know.
I'll take a photo of my background, and you take a photo of your background, and we'll switch.
Nice, that'd be awesome.
Nice. Okay, we'll do that.
Trip people up.
In general, like
Ant's real background is actually PlayStation stuff.
Oh yeah. It's just a wall of PlayStation.
All diehard PlayStation stuff.
It's actually Keith's collection. Like,
I'm secretly Keith.
Mine's secretly all Xbox stuff. And over in that corner there is where I do all my satanic pagan rituals and like sacrifice.
Are you calling Xbox people satanic ritualistic type?
I knew it.
No. I'm just calling me that kind of type.
we know what's in that corner, Pagan. We know. It's Adam.
Pipe down. Don't make me come back there. Come into the bit. It'd be really shit though if you walked in right now, be like, "Oh, dude, you fucked it.
You fucked us up."
What did I tell you?
So, Father Knows Best this week cracked me up. I don't know if you saw it, Shyami, but
hilarious. That was dude, one of the funniest episodes ever.
I was gonna say the same thing. Like, it's definitely the funniest episode so far.
Mm-hmm.
From the Father's Day present of I Love Jar Jar Binks to Nolan, because Nolan hates him. Spoiler. That was beautiful moment. But then they broke Cooper, and then I broke because Cooper
broke.
And it was all because of like geriatric Yoda.
Laugh.
At the geriatric Yoda
was just beautiful. When he said, "Stop taking my money, Mr. Bear," broke Cooper. Cooper just shut down, stopped working. And then when he said, it's like, he said something, Nolan was like, it's like if Winnie the Pooh was a thug. It said something like, "Where's my money, whore?" in Pooh's voice. I broke down. I lost it for a good 15 minutes. I was like, that is hilarious. Can you imagine poor Winnie the Pooh?
Nolan's Yoda was just so funny. And like he kept flipping back and forth between like a spot on Yoda to kind of like a half-assed Yoda back and forth. And then there was like the old man version. I was just like,
the geriatric Yoda is perfect. I thought that was fantastic.
Taking my money, Mr. Bear. Like, oh my god.
I feel like that's definitely just one episode that you'd have to catch up on, Shyami, because I feel like that's probably the funniest one.
If you watched no other episodes of the show, watch that one.
Yeah. Because I feel like we've kind of spoken about this before, but we sort of feel like Cooper is really coming into his own on the show. And I feel like definitely in this episode you see a lot more of it like open up, and it's just more banter between Nolan and Cooper. But when he broke Cooper and he lost it, I was crying.
It was great.
It was so good.
I don't know if I misheard it, but it almost sounded like you could hear Drew off screen laughing too.
Yeah, definitely. As soon as he did the Winnie the Pooh thing, someone laughed, and I was like, I am gone. I would not be able to.
I love hearing the crew laugh. That's one of my favorite things.
You know it's funny.
But they couldn't even block that out.
I feel like did we ask Drew that yet, or is that coming up in future episodes where we ask them, has anybody had to remove themselves from the set retro replay?
I think
I feel like that's one of the last questions.
Yeah, I think Drew did answer that about how he has to excuse himself off set. Yeah, because he laughed so hard.
And we do know from a reputable source that like there's stuff where they'll break their heart laughing and be like, we can't put that on air. You just can't do that. That's too dark. And it's not.
And they put a lot of stuff on air.
Yeah, but everything else
things
definitely
they
goes
don't
through.
Put on air.
Yeah.
That's kind of like when we've had a few people ask us about like putting up bloopers on the show, and we've gotten it from a reputable source, as Pagan says, that everything is the bloopers. Like we get the bloopers.
Which is fair, because I feel like they really do just put everything on there. Like and stuff that's so like, oh my God, or that's not PC, or that's so rude, or whatever it is, but it's hilarious content. So it's kind of like wherever the bar stops, that's clearly not available for like air. You really just can't just air that. That's probably why they can't do bloopers. That was great. I really thought Father Knows Best was probably the best one this week.
Yeah. I think it's becoming such a strong show. I think from the get-go it's such a great idea, because Cooper's obviously super comfortable in front of the camera. Like their dynamic is fantastic, because they're like, classic father and son. Cooper gets embarrassed, Nolan makes jokes, but then like you can tell like they're such good friends as well, and they love it. Cooper's a Star Wars nerd, Nolan's still learning things, but they're getting better. And I thought it was the most relatable episode, in the sense of like them going back through the entire level just to find more coins.
I was gonna say,
stop.
Like, Nolan's drive to get true Jedi is like insatiable.
It was so funny, because I was like, are they really going to go back? And then the fast forwarding bit, I was like, I love this. Because
it's great.
Like, come on, we've all done that, where we've like gone back through a level, or we've done something, gone out of our way to make sure we get those extra like coins or collectibles or something, and we're like, no, we have to get this before we finish it. Don't trigger the next
probably done that
scene.
once or twice, but like that was commitment to another level. I don't think I would have gone
all
the way back.
Very beginning, and then the best part was when they find out by going all the way back to the end, they still could have probably gotten it. They may have gotten it, and that's where
they're like, oh, you can break these things and get
way back. Oh. So good.
Great.
Dedication.
It was good. It was dedication.
Geriatric Yoda, that was my favorite.
Geriatric Yoda for sure is the best thing away. I want a t-shirt with Geriatric Yoda on. I want like, stop taking my money, Mr. Bear, on that.
I need
or Winnie the Pooh.
I have to say, I'm really surprised they never did a cutaway to The Empire Strikes Back when Yoda is whacking R2 going, mine, 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 mine. Like, that would have been so fitting.
That would have been so
for
fitting.
Nolan and Yoda constantly like going after the money and yelling at Cooper, like, stop taking my coins. Cut to Yoda, mine, 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 mine.
Yeah, because when Cooper broke down, then Nolan was just taking all the coins, and he was like, I'm pretty glad that you're like laughing, because I'm just stealing all the coins.
You keep laughing, I'm gonna keep getting all these coins.
Yeah.
I wonder what their limit is on how many Star Wars clips they can use.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's like very copyrighted, but then it's been copyrighted from the beginning, so
yeah.
Who knows how to play the Disney horse? Who knows? So the next content we got was advice from Uncle Nolly, our good old Uncle Nolly, on Tuesdays. We had a pretty good one this week. There wasn't anything in there that I like broke my heart laughing at, but there's some really good like actual wholesome bites of advice that I was like, oh, I was not expecting the feels today. Why, thank you, sir.
But he always brings it back.
Yeah, he can always
do a classic Nolan.
Turn around and just be the really loving uncle.
Yeah, and it's weird because like oddly, like sometimes he'll like, like, why are my parents sounding like fighting, and then he'll turn it into like angry sex. It's great. Just don't disturb them, kind of thing. So you're kind of like, there he is. There he is.
He's gotten really good at squeaking some like legitimate advice in there, here and there.
Like really good advice about like social anxiety and being in a job that you don't like. That one was great. I thought that was great. It's like chase your dreams, but look after your business.
Great
like,
answer.
Always move on to something else once you've had something else secured. Like, don't just jump into nothingness because you have bills to pay. And I was like,
don't do what I do.
Don't do what Grace does.
Grace, I have been there. I've been like, okay, see you, work, take care. And I've been like 1 month, 2 months, been like, oh wow, I have rent. I have rent to pay.
Bills,
and now I have no money. I
need food.
Start selling myself.
Getting a wee bit rumbly and a tumbly.
Get a wee bit rumbly and a tumbly.
Those ramen noodles are starting to get a little old.
Rich tea biscuit.
The ramen noodles.
Yeah, the ramen noodles. Damn. That was probably my favorite bit of advice this week. Was probably the job, like how to like, you don't like your job, what should I do type thing, and be like, okay, secure a job before you leave one.
Was there one about dealing with anger?
Yeah, like how do you
I loved that one.
That one was a pretty good solid bit of advice, but then he ended on a great Uncle Noli bit of like, or beat the shit out of someone, not a person,
break stuff,
but something.
Yeah. Brought it round.
I loved that thing he described, like imagine like a color wheel, and you imagine it going from a cool color all the way through to a warm color and then back. And I was like, that's a really great breathing exercise.
So good.
Yeah. And then he's like, but you can always just break shit. And I'm like,
or just smash something. Yeah. I mean, they do have those shops set up where they give you a bunch of shit specifically to smash. And then every time I think of the rage room, I can just picture the scene in Hook, when Hook gives the bat to the kid in the clock room and says, just beat the shit out of the clocks.
Yeah. What?
Right?
I'm so happy you made
That's a rage room.
Wow.
What a great movie.
I love it.
Yeah, it was a really good movie.
Good.
That was the original
Because
rage
we're young
room.
enough.
All the feels, man.
We're young enough to actually like that movie.
I love it.
Know that movie.
True. No one else knows about that movie. The majority of the audience who were like 22 and below.
If you've never seen Hook, do yourself a favor. Stop what you're doing after you finish this.
Robin Williams, Jason Isaacs.
Very good movie.
Dustin Hoffman.
No.
Dustin Hoffman.
Jason Isaacs did the
he was
Julia Roberts.
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan.
Yep.
That's a good movie too.
That's also a good movie.
Wait, is he not? Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Jason Isaacs did the other one.
Right.
Jason Isaacs was the dad
was
and
the older one with Tinkerbell is Julia Roberts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Julia Roberts, Maggie Smith.
Oh my God,
Maggie Smith! I forgot she was in that.
God. Oh damn! I need to go back and watch it. It's been
hold on. Who are the kids in that?
Hold the phone.
The kids, dude. There was they did a reunion
Wendy.
a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
It was like
it was
and all the kids came back.
Oh, here's another fun fact from Hook too. Rufio, the leader of the Lost Boys, is the voice of Zuko in Avatar: The Last Airbender.
What? Oh
Yeah.
my God.
He's in something else though. Dante Basco.
Yep.
In something else that I was like,
a lot of those
this guy looks really familiar. What's he in? And I was like, oh shit, that's movie amazing. From ages ago.
Mm-hmm.
There you are, Peter. There you are, Peter. Dude, that food fight scene was like my dream. Like watching that as a kid, I'm like, I want to do that. I want to have
from that food fight scene. I was obsessed with the ice cream. We don't have anything that looks anything like that here in Ireland or South Africa, right? It was like a rainbow colored, like blues and reds ice cream.
You've never had a rainbow
like
ice
rainbow
cream?
sherbet?
Wait, you never had rainbow ice cream?
No, well, it looks like I'm gonna find a picture and send it to Dan so he can insert it here.
You need to come to Australia and
have to go to
rainbow ice cream.
So
it's literally delicacy.
It's like this. It's like it almost looks like cake, and there's like bright blues and oranges and pinks and everything in it. And I was like, what the?
Like the food in Hook that they food fight with, it's just that really bright, like fluffy.
Yeah, it's just a big vibrant color.
Bright colored food.
Cut to 2016. At the end of 2016. Oh no, actually it wasn't. I went on holiday with my family in Orlando. in like 2013, and I got rainbow ice cream for the first time in an ice cream shop in Florida.
Oh my God.
I went for a walk. I was getting burnt, and I was like, I'm just gonna go to the shop over there and get a drink. And I went in, and I found this rainbow ice cream, and I was like, oh my God. I needed to tell everybody. I just wanted to tell everybody that this was here, because clearly no one else knew it was there. No one else is buying it. And I was like, oh my God, everybody come over here. Look what I found. It's the rainbow ice cream. Even when I brought it back to my brother, he was like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. Maybe I'll go get one. Neat. And then like went off and got one. And I was like, I don't see how you're not sharing my enthusiasm, but okay. But yeah, that
they don't get it. Pagan. They don't understand.
They don't understand.
They don't get it. They don't get it.
What were we talking about? I got nothing but Hook and Peter Pan on the brain now.
Yeah, you just referenced Hook.
Yeah.
And then
I got nothing but rainbow ice cream on the brain.
Let's go.
We were talking.
Tangent.
About something. Tangent.
Anger management.
Moving on from anger management. To their latest episode of Uncharted 3 playthrough with the wonderful Claudia Black and the ever so witty Richard McGonigal. What? I just love her so much. Oh God.
She's such a queen.
I feel like this was the first episode that Richard made like a proper joke in. Like Richard made a joke, like that actually made me stop and go, that was Richard.
Yeah. I appreciated
made jokes.
Yeah, everything about that episode. It was a difficult scene as well, like towards the end, like when you're running our way out of the castle and stuff, and a lot happens in the game level that they're on. So good.
The game level.
Claudia's just queen. Claudia's queen. What do you guys think? I mean, obviously, Shyami, you didn't see it, but how do you feel about Claudia being back on the show?
I love it. Every time I see her picture, I'm just like, I need to watch the episode because she's just so funny. I don't know, her humor, it just, she makes me laugh so much.
She definitely has a really special wit to her that is unique. Did you see the reunion episode a few weeks
ago? I did.
Okay.
That's a good...
So it's like she hasn't moved from that spot, essentially.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's still in what looks like a trailer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
she sure is.
Like her glasses were crazy, and like she had like her ring light reflecting on her glasses.
Hey, so y'all seen Harry Potter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you live in Texas, you know it. Mm-hmm. Adam and I were watching it, and he was like, funny, if you kind of like look at it
I know what
in this way, you kind of see like Professor Trelawney, but like a hot Professor Trelawney. And I was like, I see it. I actually see it.
See it.
I knew exactly what you were gonna say. I was like, what's the connection? Oh my God.
Round
oh
glasses,
no.
The crazy hair.
Glasses, and the large hair. Oh.
Hot Trelawney.
Oh my
God.
Hot Trelawney. Not that Emma Thompson isn't hot, because Emma Thompson is hot. But just her character wasn't designed that way, whereas like Claudia's full design.
Can we tweet this episode out and tag Claudia in it and call her Hot Trelawney?
Yes. I hope she doesn't get offended. I hope Emma Thompson doesn't see that.
I don't think she would ever be offended.
No.
If she saw
when they finally do the Harry Potter RPG world game that we all want,
they've been rumoring for years.
It has been rumoring. I hope we see something soon.
Give us something. Put Claudia in there as Trelawney, and then just
Yep, I'm down for it.
Great. Let's fan cast our Harry Potter game, guys.
Yesterday too, playing Destiny, and I heard Claudia's voice, and I was like,
"Yeah, she's in Destiny."
Oh yeah, okay, all right.
Is she? Yeah, she's two or three characters. She's a merchant, and she's something else. She's I don't really play Destiny, but she's definitely the merchant.
Yeah, because every time I'm in the tower in Destiny 2, I hear her voice because she's one of the merchants trying to like talk to you for whatever reason, just spouting random things.
I did know that. I haven't played Destiny.
She's got the best voice.
I've never played Destiny.
I don't know. It's like
it's rich butter.
She's great. It's rich butter.
It's velvety butter.
I don't know.
Butter.
Velvety, yeah.
But she roasts Nolan in this, and I feel like one of the best moments in it was she was like, "Isn't it amazing how all the sounds and everything you do?" And like, I'm loving Nolan, by the way. Nolan doesn't clock this joke at all because he's constantly gamer face. He's like,
Well, like,
because he's trying not to die. And Claudia's like, it's amazing all the sounds that you did. She's like, do you know that like a skilled gamer really wouldn't know any of these sounds that you do, but because you're playing badly on easy mode, you get to hear all of these lovely sounds that you did in the studio. Like all the grunts and the death noises and, you know,
all the efforts.
Roast someone, and there's no reaction from Richard or Nolan because they're both so in the game and like so like it's just like
it was gold.
It was such gold, and I was like, "How is this wasted? Where is this going?" And she just sort of like stayed silent after that. And I'm like, "Claudia, I just want you to know we heard you and we appreciate you because that was gold.
Yeah, don't worry.
Thank you so much."
Nolan was too busy, just like
dying.
It was an intense mode, to be fair, Shyami. Like he was gonna die. I actually didn't see what the death count was. Did anybody see death count in chat?
I only remember him dying once in the game. I don't remember what the count was actually at, though.
I think you're right.
I saw him.
He didn't. No, he didn't die once. I think he died twice.
Okay, I saw him die once that I remember.
I think he died twice.
I'm thinking of last week's episode. Sorry, that's why I had my confused face on. I was like, he died so many fucking times.
Yeah,
and then I'm
he
like,
died
a lot. That was last week with Graham.
Yeah. I put 3 in the Deadpool yesterday or Thursday.
I'm thinking of them.
And I was like, I gotta get this. This is definitely gonna be right. And then I feel like he died 1 less or 2 less than
I said. I don't usually participate in the Deadpool, but for funsies, I said to Ryan, I'm like, how about 74? And he was like, 74 question mark. Like, okay.
Are you sure? Maybe in like Father Knows Best, because I feel like they definitely got up there. They got up,
especially because Cooper wanted to hear the Yoda death scream, so he kept shooting Nolan. And he was sneaking those in too. He kept sneakily like shooting him, like hoping he'd die. Just to get the
funny noise. What can you say? What can you say?
It's great.
All right, moving quickly on to our very last segment of the show, which is called Retro Replay, where we get all the replayer questions that you guys have burning questions to ask the Retro Replay crew. So we're going to ask them for you. And this week we have 2 responses, one from Nolan and one from PJ. One from Nolan, one from Drew, and one from PJ.
Yes, Drew and PJ.
Drew and PJ. So whose answer do you want to do first?
Let's do PJ.
Let's do PJ's. All right. PJ's question was, who would you love to have on the show one day?
Who would you love to have on the show one day? You know, I'd love to have my very good friend, Nathan Fillion. I'd love to have him come on set. I love hanging with him. Love shooting the shit. He'd be the best.
See, I think that would be dope.
Yes.
I agree.
I agree.
Every time when I heard that response, I remembered like, oh, duh, he worked with Nathan Fillion in Con Man.
Man.
That would be so good. That'd be so awesome to see Nathan Fillion.
That's why when they teased it on the Facebook page and they were like, oh, we're back in the studio next week or whatever, and there's like with redacted. And I was like, oh gosh, please be Nathan Fillion, because like he's just so good. Like I really hope that that'll be Nathan Fillion, or at least someday soon they'll get Nathan on.
Yeah, I think it would just be that much more awesome and meta kind of to have Nathan and Nolan together, like playing something. It doesn't matter what, honestly. They're both really like funny and charismatic actors that I think the 2 of them in a room together would just, they were awesome like in Con Man, but they didn't really have any screen time together. But goddamn, they're both awesome.
I'd like to see their dynamic together for sure.
The potential is pretty off the charts.
As they would say, Uncharted.
Like
I think they would both rock up. They would both rock up in like the Nathan Drake cosplay.
That would
like,
be hilarious.
Yes,
but then not address it like at all. Just sit there the whole time.
They should just like give each other a funny
in,
look,
like, Uncharted 3.
and then just be like, looking sharp. Nice.
Yeah.
Please, yes, that would be so amazing.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, that would. I really like that. All right, moving on to PJ's question. Moving on to Drew's question. We had a question of, if you could erase your memory of any game and play it again, what would you like to play?
If you could wipe your memory of any game and play it again, what game would you play? Pagan Dan with the tough questions, but if I could wipe my memory of any game, I think, I might rephrase this question. I think if I could wipe my memory, I would go back to, like, I think it was my senior year of high school, and my friend Matt had a Nintendo 64 in his basement, and me and my friends and him would, I think we'd locked ourselves in that basement what felt like the entire summer, and all we would do is play Mario Kart, GoldenEye, James Bond 007, and God, what else? I mean, we just Mario World. I mean, we just played the shit out of all of those games. And the sad thing is his parents had a beautiful house with like a pool, and like it was perfect for like a summer with high school kids, you know, to like hang out. And you know, it was like 4 dudes in a basement, and we didn't even bring chicks over. We had this beautiful pool, but all we did was play video games in a basement. We were such nerds. We loved it though. I don't regret it at all, but I would totally go back and wipe my memory and do that all over again, because what an enjoyable time getting so mad at each other playing those games, and we were so competitive, but man, it was fun.
Oh, he's so cute.
Oh, bless.
I've never heard his voice before.
Really?
That was the first
Have
time
you not? Oh, Drew, Shyami, Drew.
Well, we've had his voice on our show a couple of
bless
times
him.
now, going back a few weeks.
Yeah, we're gonna do like more questions about that, Shyami. So if you have ever got one, send it across.
The first time, actually, we got a voicemail directly from Drew, just kind of like shouting us out. He just sent us a voicemail saying, like, because we've been asking people to send us voicemails on the podcast. He was one of our first real ones, besides the weird ones Greg gave us.
Hey, my mom also did one.
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
Thanks, Mom.
Those were also way back in the day.
Yeah, but that was kind of how it started. Like, we got a voicemail from Drew, and we were like, he listens to it. And then we freaked out because the amount of times we called Drew out, we were like, that's embarrassing. But yeah, so now we don't do that.
I have to say, of
the
Drew's
amount of times
answer,
you were like, Drew, if you listen to this.
Yeah, just Drew,
Right.
Drew. I have to say, Drew, like, man after my own heart, because literally, like, same experience for me going through like middle school and high school. Like, I spent so much of like my summer vacations just walled up in my bedroom with my friends playing Nintendo 64, playing GoldenEye and Smash Brothers and Mario Kart, just all the multiplayer games that were exclusive to like the Nintendo 64 back then. So like every ounce of that answer resonates so heavily with myself, and just like yes, like to bring me back to those days of like my youth and my childhood would be phenomenal.
It's a really good answer.
100% agree.
Definitely.
I really enjoyed the way that he like rephrased the question and was like,
He
instead
had
of
to.
just replaying a game, can you relive an experience? And that was an experience that he'd like to relive. And I think that's really cool. I think that's so nice that they've had like a good time. And it doesn't matter if they've got a great house and a beautiful pool and everything. You don't need to bring chicks over, Drew.
We had a
Spending
pool
your time
too.
playing video games is a legit use of your time. You still have fun.
We had a pool too, and we didn't use it because I'd be too busy in my room playing Smash Brothers with my friends, beating the shit out of each other.
I gotta say, moving from South Africa, I miss the pool the most. That sucks that we don't have one here. But to be fair, it'd be way too cold to have one here. But yeah, I miss the pool the most.
Do we want to piggyback that question and ask our guest here if they have an option like that?
Yeah, if you could either relive an experience like Drew did, or if there is a game that you would like to replay again without having any memory of playing that game, what would you guys play?
Oh.
What would you play, Dan?
There's a couple of things coming to mind right now. Like the first, for some reason, I don't know why, but one of the first games that comes to mind is Castlevania Lords of Shadow. Lords of Shadow. I've played through that game a bunch of times. Maybe Devil May Cry. There's the games that I've replayed so many times over the course of my life that like I never get bored of those games, and I replay them. Having one of those games, being able to play it fresh, like I've never played it before, that first experience, that first time. Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Ladies?
Have I riffed long enough for you to think of an answer?
Shyami?
Well, it kind of connects to what I was talking about before, but with Kingdom Hearts, I remember playing the first game like by myself in like my little gaming room that's just next door, and just sitting there and just playing it, and just, you know, it was all about Disney and stuff. I played it mainly because of Disney. I'm a massive Disney nerd, excuse me. But then there's like different concepts in it, which was like, you know, about friendship, there's darkness and light and stuff like that. It's really deep. And I was like, I remember when like playing it for the first time, and I was like, wow, like that's pretty hefty subjects to go into in a kid's game. So it was really interesting, and that's why I'd like to wipe my memory and go back and play it, because just playing it firsthand, it's very memorable.
That's a good answer. And I feel like it seems to have like really impacted your, I guess, gaming experience. So it's a really nice answer. Grace?
That is a nice answer.
I could almost even, one extra one I could throw out there if I need to give Grace another minute would be getting my Super Nintendo when I was a kid. Just that experience of
reliving that moment.
Just getting that Super Nintendo, opening it up the first time, like new console. The first time in my life I ever got a brand new console, like out of the box. Brand new, got Super Mario World. Just playing Super Mario World for the first time, experiencing Yoshi for the first time.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brings tears to my eyes.
I know.
Okay, now you can go, Chris.
We'll do it at the same time.
Yes, the Nintendo 64, I remember getting that as it was like a family gift, Christmas 1997. I want to say, or 98, one of them.
96, 97? Sounds right.
Because we also got Ocarina of Time, Legend of Zelda with it. And that was like my entire childhood was that game. And like playing that with like my older brothers, I didn't get to play first because I think you only had like 3 save files on it. So the 3 brothers went first. I watched them play. I think it was 3 save files, or they just didn't let me play it. Could have been either. But yeah, so I watched them play through the whole game before I even got to play it. But I was just like, oh, wow, look at the fairies and the horses and everything. And like that game's incredible. But I think also probably a more recent game, I would love to play Spider-Man again for the first time. Because I think like the first 5 minutes of that game, I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god, like you jump out the window and then just the web swinging and just like it's the only game where I have not wanted to fast travel, because I'm like, why would I fast travel? I can swing across the city. It's so good. And just everything, the story is incredible. And I think, I was just getting so like viscerally excited playing that game. And I'd love probably like that and God of War as well. Like,
oh, God of War. That's
2018. There were a lot of games.
There was a lot of good games in 2018.
So like that kind of got that reaction out of me where I was like, oh my god, are you kidding me? So like, yeah, I would love to be able to have that experience again. But that just makes me even more excited for Miles Morales to come out. So I have to get a PS5.
So excited for that. That's like the highlight of that event for me.
Definitely.
The closest you can get to that now is like wait to play that game again for like 10 years and then go back to it so you can be like, I forgot how awesome this is.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I think like actually that did come out fairly recently. But I think if I was picking a recent game to replay, it would be Uncharted 4. Because I remember the hype between 3 and 4 and being like, oh my god, I can't wait to play this game. It's going to be so exciting. And then Adam got me for Christmas the PlayStation 4 Uncharted Collection Edition as well. And I was like, this is the best present ever. Because now I have like the full collection on the special edition disc. And then like Uncharted 4. And I feel like that's where I would love to go back to. This kind of the hype for a game that you've been waiting forever for. Like, for example, like The Last of Us game where people have been waiting 7 years and you're like, or people who are diehard Final Fantasy fans and have been waiting for this remake.
Yeah, I went through that with Uncharted 2.
That was me.
Yeah.
I was super hyped for Uncharted 2 when that came out. Yeah, that was so exciting.
I have a friend who's had Cyberpunk on pre-order for 6 years.
What?
Well, they're going to lose their minds.
From a store that no longer exists. So they had to like transfer their
my
pre-order.
Wow.
How crazy.
So
that shows you how long they're waiting.
Yeah, so every time one of us says, because we catch up every week, so every time one of us says, oh, I'm so excited for Cyberpunk, he's like, you don't know what that means. He's just like, don't even talk to me.
Yeah.
You have no idea. I had Final Fantasy 13 pre-ordered for like 4 or 5 years, I think.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I don't know if I would pre-order anything.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like that. No way.
Remember
That's
when
commitment.
games came out on their original date? No.
Games came out when they were supposed to.
I remember looking
I'm
into...
complaining. I'm not complaining.
No, not at all.
I remember when
I'd rather they be happy with the product.
Same.
I don't mind waiting. It's fine. It's fine. I have a backlog to play anyway, so.
True. What were you saying, Shyam?
Oh no, I was just saying, like, even like with me, like I had to wait 10 years for Kingdom Hearts, and then they said 2018 release, and then at the because they said December 2018, and then literally in December they were like, oh, we're pushing it to January, and everyone was like, what? Why? So literally, it was like a couple of weeks.
Table, like cars crashing into each other, like fuck you.
Yeah, everyone kind of blew up, but then everyone was like, no, wait, you know, like let them finish the product, because obviously there probably are glitches and stuff. Let them finish it, and then, you know, it's better.
Fair. Alrighty. Well, thank you so much. This is the part of the show where we're gonna wrap up, and we're gonna ask you guys if there's anything that you would like to promote on socials. Feel free to. Grace, we'll start with you if you'd like to promote your socials or anything that you're involved in right now.
Sure. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. It's all at Friquit. I will be doing my Instagram music sessions again every week on Wednesday mornings, my time, 9:45 a.m. I usually post like a reminder leading up to it. Trying to get back into that, doing like live stuff again.
Lovely.
Greg and myself have the Greg and Grace Show, which is a silly podcast that we do every week. You can find that on Spotify and on Anchor, and just search for the Greg and Grace Show. It's pretty self-explanatory, just fun conversations. And any Retro Replay gifts are on giphy.com/Retro Replay, which now has 20 million views.
Heck yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for enjoying my hobby. I'm really glad that everyone still likes it, and I still
we love it. Are you kidding?
Love it.
I actually got to throw you a shout out for the one that you did recently of Cooper with Hello Darkness, my old friend, where he's just like, man. And it's a slow zoom in.
The slow zoom.
Perfect.
I got a new editing program as well, so.
Oh, nice.
So like, yeah, I'm getting
perfect.
I'm leveling up.
Nice one. Shyami, what about you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Shyami Courtney. You can also find me on YouTube at Crazy Fangirl Reviews. I do reviews on video games, movies, and TV shows. Mainly been doing a lot of video games recently. There is Last of Us 2 review coming out, and hopefully this week or next week. And then you can find me on Twitch as well at Crazy Fangirl Reviews as well.
Awesome. And you did a recent interview, right, with Nolan North on your YouTube channel. Excellent. So we can go ahead and find you there, Crazy Fangirl Reviews on YouTube, to see that lovely one. I might actually link that in the show notes below anyway for you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Dan?
Of course, as usual, you can always find me at Stark Evil Vash on most platforms, pretty much whatever platform of choice you're looking for me on. And this is me being lazy. So you can also find me on Twitter at Stark Evash, STRKYVASH. I don't think I have anything else to plug per se. Me and Pagan do have a little side episode coming out soon. We did a thing called a side quest where we did a PlayStation 5 discussion.
Replay side quests, yeah.
Ooh, nice.
So expect that soon.
Yeah.
So
that should be out on our YouTube channel, right?
Yes, that will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. We're going to try and do more like that. So we're probably going to also do a Last of Us chat. Maybe kind of like a spoiler cast or spoiler-free chat. talking about The Last of Us, and we're going to try and keep putting out some new content like that on a regular basis.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that.
Awesome.
Go
And you can find
team.
me as always at Pagan_plays on Twitch, on Instagram, Pagan space plays, I guess, Pagan plays on YouTube, and Pagan plays no underscore on Twitter. But we'll put all that shit down below show notes. Thank you guys so much for being on today. Grace, Shyami, it's been a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
guys.
Thanks, guys. And thank you so much for everybody in Retro Replay on the Retro Replay crew and cast for all that you do, because without you, this Replayer podcast would not exist. Replayers, if you want, you can find us on Facebook and Twitter, and we look forward to new episodes every Wednesday here on our YouTube channel and on pretty much any podcasting platform. You can feel free to find us there. If you guys have any questions you'd like to ask the caster crew for Retro Replay, please send them over to the replayerpodcast@gmail.com or DM us on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's it. I think that's a show. Hey, we're done.
Hey.
Thank you so much, everybody. That's game over.
Go follow everybody on Twitch.
Go follow everybody on Twitch.
And YouTube.
What do you want to do? Do you want to dab?
You want to dab, Greg?